Okay, not that you guys care, but I wanted to kind of clear up some misconceptions about, Islam or the Baghdad government or something. It says here they had like enslaved women. This is not entirely true. It's not the slavery that people think of, of the atrocities that happened to the African Americans and the North African American continent and even other places of the world. This is not the type of slavery it's talking about here. In Islam or all these like types of societies, prisoners of war that couldn't be released. I know I'm giving you a little history lesson here, but prisoners of war that couldn't be released, which 9 times out of 10 they were either released, taken back to their families, or they would have to pay off their sentence in terms of like educating children. Like this is what the Prophet Muhammad would do, peace be upon him. He would ask prisoners of war, because they were treasoners, to pay off their sentence by just teaching kids, and then he would just let them go. It's incredibly merciful. But in rare situations where prisoners of war could not be released, they became servants, in which, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, would say, these servants, right, have been entrusted in your care by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which means you have to care for them, you give them food, you have to clothe them with the clothes that you wear, feed them with the food that you eat, and you cannot overwork them. And you, as basically the owner of this servant, if you overwork them, you need to get down and help them with whatever work you just gave them. So it's more servitude. It's not slavery. And some of these prisoners of war were women, and women that they couldn't release, or women that belonged to the enemy, and this would end up harming, uh, basically the Islamic society, because these women would either have information on the whereabouts or whatever. But either way, prisoners of war, sometimes they were women. Now, women, when they become servants, right? Because I mean, you look at prisoners of war today. Where are they at? Prisoners of war today, they're sitting in Guantanamo Bay. If you ask these prisoners of war, hey, would you rather stay in prison right now, or would you rather go in servitude to a nice family that's going to feed you well, clothe you well, give you all your rights? I guarantee you all of them would say, hey, I don't mind working for a family. That's basically what it was. It was servitude. Now, some of these women, obviously with consent, could marry the man that they're working for, or the family that they're working for. They can marry into that family, basically. So I just wanted to clear up any misconceptions, because that this word slavery here is a very big word, and it's not entirely accurate here, right? Because it wasn't really slavery. It was more like servitude from prisoners of war. Anyway, hope that cleared some misconceptions up.